We're visiting with a Carolina legend, Maurice Williams, coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're in Florence, South Carolina, the Bell South building. We're focused on a true Carolina legend, Maurice Williams. Maurice, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
It's my pleasure, Greg. My pleasure.
Incredible opportunity to highlight the life of someone who grew up in South Carolina, now lives in North Carolina. Oftentimes, so many Tar Heels leave the Tar Heel state to come down to the Palmetto state after getting the sand in their shoes. I guess you took the opposite road.
Well, sort of. My business is in North Carolina. Right. And so I decided to move 40 miles away, and my family's still in South Carolina,
in Lancaster.
In Lancaster, right.
Let's talk about growing up in Lancaster real quick. What was it like growing up in Lancaster?
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I was like a typical teenager that got into all the things that teenagers do. And I was kind of bad for a while there. And then I went to on Halloween and doing things that guys do. And I went there and was doing those things. And somebody threw a firecracker and hit me in my ear. Right beside my ear. And it was like, boom, I was like, I couldn't hear for a while. And I said, no more. So after that, Greg, that's when I really started staying home and really writing songs. Because I wasn't going nowhere out there with the Halloween thing no more. I really got serious about what I was doing.
You've been listening to music forever.
Yes.
But that fear, I mean, that was a recognized fear. Even the potentiality of not being able to heir music again, knowing it was in your blood, but golly.
It was a wake-up call for me.
I'm sure.
And it just turned me around when I started writing. You know, and I just said, well, I won't go there no more. We're not going to do this. We're going to stay home and write music. Right. And I started doing it early. I learned that. You know, I caught it on like that. And I started really concentrating on the keyboard, my piano, and the songs.
What age were you when that happened, Maureen?
I think I was about 8 or 9.
Okay, that young.
That young.
Can you remember
following the guys, you know, following the big guys.
Sure.
You know, following my cousin that was always into something. I'm right behind him, you know.
Oh, God. Maurice, what's he up to now? When you think about cousins and family members, when you think about the love, I'm sure there's still family back there.
Sure.
You get back to Lancaster often?
Oh, very often. Much as I can.
And
he's still doing well. He's doing well. Went just fine. He got his business going, and he came around to very good at things.
He came around.
Yes.
He came around. What about the music you all listened to at that age, at 8 or 9 or earlier, even later? Did you have a clear memory of some of your favorite music at that time?
The music that I was listening to and was like Fats Domino and Five Royals, and we was listening to all that good music. And out of the station in Nashville, WLAC, listening to that station, they was playing all the music and that we was listening to it, you know. And from that, I said, I think I can write just as good as those songs sound. You know? And I was writing. I started asking my friends when they would come by the house, I said, how's this sound? Have you heard something like this before? And they said, no. So I said, well, I got something there. And they said, think so? And kept doing it. And to me, it sounded just as good as what I was hearing on the radio. You know, but I wasn't sure. I didn't have that sureness about myself.
Right.
And when they said, we hadn't heard that, we all listened to the same station.
Right.
You know, and they hadn't heard it, and I said, I got something here. So I just kept writing, and I filed it, put it on tape, and filed and hold on to it, you know. And I did it every morning.
And that's great that you turn to friends to ask them. Because oftentimes when, you know, if you've got a great idea and you turn to somebody and they poo-poo it, you drop it. You don't move forward. But the fact that they heard it, it sounded different, but that they gave you that encouragement to keep going is probably a good feeling, knowing that that kind of encouragement was positive encouragement.
Yes, it was fun, and, you know, it's not because a lot of good things came from that.
Very definitely.
Definitely.
Let's think of a date. Let's say age 10. Can you remember a favorite song or a favorite group? I know you talked about listening to Fats Domino. Can you think of a favorite song, something that viewers may connect with, things that they'd remember? We've got a lot of viewers within the PD, Robeson, Scotland County, Columbus County, Lee County, obviously.
Blueberry Hill.
Blueberry Hill.
Fats Domino.
It's very easy to know.
Oh, man, yes. I heard that way back then. I think he was doing it then. Sure. And Blueberry Hill.
Blueberry Hill.
Yeah.
Wow. How about what inspired you to begin writing? Was there any particular inspiration, some family members? I mean, surely hearing music and knowing that you wanted to throw something out a little different. Was there a particular inspiration?
Yes, well, the radio was really my inspiration for starting to write. You know, like I said about the firecracker thing. You know, I knew I could do it. I just had to get out of the street to do that. You know, but I think my main inspiration was from my uncle, Uncle Coy. He had a jazz band that we rehearsed in the house all the time. You know, and play some good music. And I was a little boy and holding on to his coattail, you know, pulling on him. I was like maybe 6 years old, you know, 7, something like that. And he would be playing, just get away from me, you know. and I'll be right there. I remember this very well. And he finally said, well, okay. And he showed me a few chords. Then I started really getting into the piano. Then my sister Carol, she's a classical musician now.
Really?
Yeah, she was playing and she rehearsed all that stuff, and I listened to her and I listened to her. And I compared her to what he was doing. And at an early age, and I said, no, this is more simple than that. I just couldn't listen to classical all that, you know, the way she was doing it. So what my Uncle Cole was doing, I could get close to. And so I started doing that. And then when I was listening to Fats Domino, I saw what he was doing with the keyboards, with the couplets he was playing, and all that stuff there, you know. I said, I can do this. And I started doing that, and I had the Lord twice, and all this stuff. I said, gosh, I can do this. So, it was so inspiring, man. And that inspired me to just go ahead and do that and put it down. That's what it was.
That's amazing. You, Uncle Coy, your sister,
Sarah,
Fats Domino, hearing it. There was also some friends. You had friends you played with.
Yes.
The same folks that listened to your music to help encourage you to keep writing. Did you begin playing with those friends? Did you all get together in any type of group, ragtag group or otherwise?
Yeah, we were together already. I joined, there was a group called the Royal Harmonizers. Royal Harmonizers, don't harmonize. And I got into that group as a gospel group. And I started singing with them. And they were friends, they were older guys, they were older than me. But they let me in there to sing my little part, and I started singing out there, and singing, it was quartet, and singing the gospel. And I did that for a while with them. But it wasn't working out too cool, you know. And I said, well, I was still going to write my songs. I was still writing. And they would come out and say, that's good, this is nice, this is good. You know, and that's really the way it all got going. And then we all became partners in the Glee Club in Lancaster. And the high school Glee Club. And we were in the band also. Same guys. Same guys. And from that, we could play instruments and sing, and the Royal Charms came out of that group. The very first group. Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Came out of that group.
When you think about your first performance publicly, I know really performing in front of Uncle Coy was probably the biggest performance of your life. That opportunity, getting him allowing you to get up there, surely your sister and that influence, for performing in public. Can you go back to that time? Can you picture that, or were you even almost too young? I mean, you started at an early age, but can you picture those experiences? You know, we had somebody on a couple months ago, a judge in Florence who had gotten in the Florence Little Theater, and she said the first time she tried out, they turned her down for the part. Outright turned her down. She came back And now after 40-some years of performing and directing and being actor of the Florence Little Theater, she stuck it out. Mm-hmm. Did you have a similar experience at all, or was it just outright everyone was behind you at the get-go?
Well, my family was always behind me, and my aunt, Coy's wife, Inez.
Oh, wow.
She was behind me, and they would have parties up at this armory. It wasn't actually an armory. It was a building that we rented. It was something like a DFW club, something like that. Mm. That they would have dances, and they didn't have a band. And I was the one that played the piano, and they would dance to it. I remember I was 14 about the piano, and they would dance to it, and I played the boogie woogie, you know, and they would dance and have a beautiful time. I remember all that, you know. That to me it was very exciting. Right. I was by myself then, just playing the piano, you know, and doing that, you know, I could do that. And they had such a ball. I remember that very well. Wow. And that actually was my first one, you know. Mm-hmm. And then I started getting hired to play in different bands there. It was a band over in Rock Hill. Bobby Flair, I remember Bobby Flair. I remember playing with him. He would come by and pick me up and car, and we made a little money, you know. I was a kid. Now, he needed a piano player, and he didn't have a bass player, and I played that, man. I played that, you know, and get the money, give it what, $10, $20, something like that. And give it to them. It worked. Then I said, well, I can do this. You know, it was so encouraging.
Maurice, so many folks have had an impact. So many folks have affected you at such an early age. I was about to ask you who's been the greatest inspiration, who has stuck out in your mind, but you start talking about Uncle Coy, and then I say, I can't answer that question. You start talking about your aunt, his wife. I think, golly, you've answered already. If you step back from them, knowing at an early age, and Fats Domino, you think about all these folks that have been an inspiration, I guess it's almost impossible to pinpoint one person that was the biggest inspiration in getting you started, or is it?
No, the biggest inspiration is my aunt.
Is your aunt, I know.
She's the one that kept me going. She started teaching me everything. The social, the pronunciation, to remember words, to read signs, to read this, read that, read that. I started learning then. Mm-hmm. And she stayed with me all the time. She said, whatever you say, say, you know, you're good. She kept telling me, you can do it. You're so good. I mean, she kept just telling me that. And I was enjoying it, too, you know. So she was my biggest inspiration.
You have to think about folks like that in your life, and you think about folks who miss out on the opportunity to have someone really encouraging them and supporting them and saying you could do it. You had your friends there, and surely your uncle opening that up. And I know it's great that you had somebody like that. That means a lot. There was probably somebody out in the audience that said, Maurice, you and whichever group at that time, you could move from local shows to performing professionally, to really getting out on the road. Was there somebody, or do you remember that instance when you began going outside of the local sphere of Lancaster and doing a little more traveling? $20 is a good kick, but surely there was a time when it was a little more than 20, I suppose.
Oh yes, we started playing. First, when we formed the Royal Charms, we won talent show in Lancaster, South Carolina, in Lancaster. And we won the talent show in the local White High School. And there were some guys from Georgia, from the University of South Carolina, excuse me, University of South Carolina in the audience. And they started booking us at the fraternity parties in Columbia. And that really was, we started making some money then that we could really do some things with. You know, the University of South Carolina, and from the University of South Carolina, we went to the University of Georgia. Mm-hmm. And we got into that circle and a lot of frat parties, and it was good.
Absolutely. And the ability to break down those racial barriers, Maurice.
Yes.
You surely weren't, that was not a hindrance where it would have been in so many other areas, the ability to bring the races together.
Right.
Speaking about that and getting on the road, can we talk some more? Can you stay with us for a couple minutes?
Sure.
Great.
Okay.
Carolina legend, Maurice Williams. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Carolina People. Welcome back to Carolina People, and we're visiting with Maurice Williams. Maurice, thanks again for being with us.
That's my pleasure.
Incredible, incredible. I was thinking as we were talking, so many performances, and we're just getting into your professional performances. Is there a performer that you were most excited to perform with, or the most exciting performance you ever had with someone else?
Well, I tell you, back in the 60s during that time, the most exciting performer was James Brown.
James Brown.
Still is today. Sure is. We did the Apollo Theater together a few times.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's been amazing.
Yes, it was beautiful. It was a learning thing for me.
Right.
And that James Brown, man, he was so beautiful. There was a midnight show. There was a late show on Saturday night, like it starts about midnight. And then James Brown did, and the first show during the week, like it's like at 11 o'clock. On a Tuesday or Thursday, whatever. During the week, he worked as hard during the week as he worked on the midnight show. Now that is exciting and encouraging.
That is. You know, as you said that in performing at the Apollo, I'm thinking to myself, that's amazing. How can we do? Just unbelievable. But for you, at some level, it's old hat. I mean, this is something you perform. You've got folks focused on you and the Zodiacs on a regular basis. Constantly, you're thinking about performing and being, as you said, the encouragement of James Brown in early stage, seeing his work level and that ethic. You've got to do that as well. What's that like, performing in big groups? I think I was told, there's a gentleman you and I both know, Harry Turner, was telling me about a couple of months ago. Maybe it was even more recent or a little further off than that. You performed in London. 6,000 folks, sold out crowd. Virtually every song, the audience is singing along. They know all this music. Not only do they know the music, but they want to have a piece of you. They buy everything you got, every disc, every T-shirt, anything you got with you before you get out of there, dying for you to come back. What's that like, being in the UK, being in another country, knowing songs like Stay and Little Darling, Do This, and many other songs? What's that like?
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful feeling. It's so encouraging to know that you created something that the whole world loves, and that you bring people together. And that was the most encouraging part about it. Mm-hmm. And it was so beautiful. We went back to learn songs that I wasn't performing in the United States. Songs like Shoot Shoot, you've never heard it. Songs like, you've heard Do You Believe probably. We did all those. Mm-hmm. But they were singing along with Shoot Shoot, which is a song the Gladiolas did. So I went back and put the Gladiolas with the Zodiacs, song-wise. We had to rehearse all this stuff. Again, because we over here in the United States, people, they're not that familiar with that. They've probably forgotten it. Some are, some not. But to see 6,000 people singing that along with you is a beautiful feeling. It's so encouraging. And, it makes you think, well, you know what I got to do? Go back and sing that again.
Absolutely.
At least record it again. Make it available again, because right now I don't think it's available.
And you're still making recordings, Maurice?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That must be a great feeling. I know just last night I was telling somebody, she was asking who I'd be with today, and I said, well, I'm going to be interviewing a singer named Maurice Williams. And she said, whoa. You don't say a singer named Maurice Williams. All you got to say is Maurice Williams, Greg. And that was and I thought, golly, yeah, I guess so. And this is and really the thrill, and I guess at some level there is an age barrier. She's a few years, albeit your music transcends all ages, and that's probably representative of that crowd in the UK and the crowd you still see. I want to get back real quick. Time has flown, but as we think about when you began touring and at what age, was there an instance? I understand there was some story behind traveling, making that first trip to Nashville.
Yes. The first trip to Nashville, the Royal Charms, was in the Glee Club in Lancaster, and in Broad Street High School in Lancaster. We took a chance on going to make a record, because we hadn't made a record. I had printed songs, Greg. I had printed songs,
Right.
but we didn't have no record. So we went over to Nashville. We took a chance. I called Nashville Records over there and talked to the people there. And Ernest Young, the owner of Nashville Records, said, well, if you're coming over here and you're playing a gig, say, well, then I'll take a listen to you. And he said, you got anything like that coming? I said, yes, sir, we do.
We'll be there.
We'll be there. He said, where are you playing? I said, Vanderbilt. And he said, well, come on, we'll take you there. Your contact is John Richburg. John Richburg is the disc jockey that we always listen to. I said, wow, it's working. I said, good. And he said, he's going to meet you at such and such hotel, wrote everything down, man. I was so excited then. I was writing stuff down. And we're going to make a record. We're going to, wow. And we went over there, and gosh, but I hadn't thought about how you're going to get there. I was just writing stuff down. I had everything ready to go, all the business part of it. The door was open. Now we got to go. Really got to go, because we really didn't have that booking over there. So that was one little headline that I told to get there, right? So what we did, I told the guys, and everybody was excited. A guy in the group named Willie Jones had a Chrysler, man. He had an old Chrysler, and he said, yes, we can go. I said, oh, man. He was older than me. I said, we can do it. I'm not got to raise some money to go. So we went around to the merchants in Lancaster, and I remember we raised $37. $37 and some change. Mm-hmm. We took that money and got in that Chrysler and went to Nashville. Okay. Now, the guy that I had wrote Little Darling for, I wrote Little Darling for William Massey to sing. We all do it in Dennis, Bunky, my best buddy, my friend. And had wrote it for him to sing it. So came time to go, his mother said, no, he can't go. So you guys, y'all know what you're doing. She was very smart. So you don't know what you're doing. So you can't go. So, guys, he cried, I cried. He couldn't go. And I said, well, guys, we're going anyway. And they said, let's go. We started praying. We prayed over it. We made the decision to go. We left. We made it. This was in 1956.
1956.
And a Chrysler. I would get that on the mouth. Yes, we made it. Got in a Chrysler, we made it. We prayed all the way. We didn't have a spare tire. Think about it. There wasn't no such thing as the super highways.
Right.
But we were praying. I had my songs, and we prayed all the way over there, man. We prayed, correct, and we made it to Nashville. Didn't have one flat tire at all. Didn't have it at all. Went there. Got a hotel. Went to John R. Meadows at the hotel. Took us over to Ernie Young, to Nashville, next solo record. And he said, okay, show me what you got. Oh, man. We started playing a whole bunch of songs. We just went over everything I wrote at that time. And there was one song that he liked a few of them, but one song stood out in his mind, called Little Darling. And I had wrote that thing for William, for Bunchy. And I played what we had, and, we did everything, but we didn't do Little Darling because he wasn't there. He said, they say you got another song. The guys were telling me, do Little Darling. So you can sing it, you wrote it, do it. I didn't sing it. So I wasn't singing that much. I was playing the keyboard, and like them sing, I was sort of directing them and telling them how to sing it.
Right.
And he says, go ahead, you sing. Go ahead. Everybody was saying that. All the guys said, go ahead, Reese, you can do this. You call me Reese. right?
Called you Reese.
Yeah, Reese, right. And I said, all right, let me do it. So I did it. I had it at a different tempo than it is today. I had it like a ding, 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 little darling, ding, 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 sort of slow, like, like a ballad, a rock ballad almost, right? And he said, good, I love it. He said, I love it. He said, but I want you to change something. He said, sing it in calypso style. So we'll make a calypso out of it. I said, huh? I'm 16 years old.
Yeah. What is that?
And he said, it's something, like, I said, like a mumbo? He said, yeah, like a mumbo. I said, Mac, give me a mumbo beat. Mac the drummer, he gave me a mumbo beat. He started that beat. We knew how to do that. And I changed it, started doing the rhythm like that. Earl Gainey on the guitar. He puts on the guitar like that. He said, good. I said, that's good. So hold up. He handed me some castanets. He said, you know how to play these? I said, no, Earl do. I said, I know what they are and everything. So we put that in there. Now he said, sing it like, he said, chop your lyrics. He said, chop your lyrics a little bit. He said, like you've seen, the cowboy flicks when your microphone thing or something. He said, chop your lyrics just a little. And he said, I think we just chop it up a little bit. So that's what, darling, it came out. And then the rest of it, Greg, is history. That's how I was born. Man, and
Maurice, that is amazing. I'm just spellbound sitting here.
who made it like that?
This is the recognition of a true Carolina legend. Just sitting here knowing this is an episode that'll run many, many times, not only on my station, but hopefully on many stations. We can't wait to get you back.
Really,
Thank you so much for giving the viewers within the PD, the Strand, and southeastern North Carolina the opportunity to hear a legend in action.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, my pleasure.
Maurice Williams, you just heard him. Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. We want to thank Maurice Williams for making this a classic edition of Carolina People.